Hello everyone. So most QA teams still spend too much time understanding a project, writing repetitive test cases and manually documenting bugs. But what if an AI agent could open your existing project, understand the product flow, create a test plan, automate key scenarios and even draft detailed bug report for you? Isn't it amazing? Isn't it wonderful, right? It's wonderful, correct? So in this video, I will show you exactly how a QA engineer can use Google Antigravity with an existing project. In my case, I'm going to use CheckFakeAI. This is a web application which is built by Antigravity, and trust me, it took me like 2 to 3 hours maximum from building to deployment using Antigravity to speed up testing, improve coverage, and list bug with the proper detail. This is what I'm going to use for today's demo. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Anuj Verma. So we will start this demo. We will do 5 things in this particular demo. First, understand the CheckFakeAI project is important for our agent as well, right? To understand this project before it start creating a QA strategy for us. Second, ask Antigravity to generate a QA strategy. Third, create and run automated tests. Fourth, identify bug and edge cases. And fifth, generate detailed bug report and regression recommendations. Let's start. What is Google Antigravity? Even in my last video, I had shown that Google Antigravity is a tool, right? So basically, you can say it's a mission controller or a tool. And Google Antigravity is an agent-first development platform from Google. So you can see how it's looked like, correct? So unlike a normal code assistant that only suggests code line by line, Antigravity is designed to let agent plan tasks, work across your code base, use the terminal and even operate in the browser. Google also positioned it for the spec-driven workflows and verified task execution. That makes it very interesting, and not only for the developers but also for the QA who want help with the design, automation, right, and the testing support and bug documentation, right? Uh, for this demo, I'm going to use CheckFakeAI, as you can see on the screen. This is my project. Again, just for knowledge, this entire project has been created through Antigravity without coding, just through prompting. This is an existing application, so the goal is not to build from scratch. The goal is to show how QA can plug Antigravity into real project and use it testing Copilot. So you can apply the same flow to the web app, admin panel, SaaS product, internal tools, or even your client project. Let's assume CheckFakeAI help user to evaluate whether an AI claim, tool, features, and products real, misleading, or is fake, or is real, and so on. So the typical flow might include here, like you can upload you can see 3 sections, right? The LinkedIn post analyzer is under development right now. 2 sections is active: media detector and the service validator, right? So the simple flow is like in media detector, you can upload any of your media, right, image or the video, and it will detect it's AI generated or is original. Service validator, you can name any tool, right, but AI, so it will check if it's a fake or it's original tool, right? I can check GPT. Okay, so we can review the history, we can share these tools or this finding with our friends and so on. So so how we can start? So let's ask Antigravity to understand the project first. Okay, so analyze the existing project called CheckFakeAI from a QA perspective. I what I did is I already using source control here in Antigravity. I already uh, linked my source of Antigravity. So source of CheckFakeAI project. This project is already linked here. Okay, now I am going to work on some prompts. So for me the prompts are ready, right? So how I will start, my first prompt will start in this way. So what I'm asking Antigravity, like analyze this existing project called CheckFakeAI from a QA perspective. So what's his task? Antigravity task is, or the AI task is, to understand the app structure, routes, main features, and likely user journey, identify critical workflow. It should identify all the workflow, critical workflow, create a concise QA understanding, document like product module, critical path, and so on. Do not modify production code yet. I instructing it very clearly, no modification required right now. If needed, inspect package files, route, component, API calls, and existing test, right? This is my command. So here what I am doing. So my first step is to understand the project. I want my Antigravity to understand the project. This is where many teams go wrong. If the AI does not understand the app properly, the test is generates will also be weak. So here I ask Antigravity to inspect the existing CheckFakeAI project and prepare a QA understanding note. Okay, I am getting this error. I will just do the retry. There might be some connection interruption, I guess, or the connection was interrupted, I guess, but let's see. Okay, now what Antigravity will do? It's going to review all the source code, entire source code, all the file, right? And it will start working as a QA perspective. It will start understanding the task, app structure, main features. It will try to fetch all the information possible using my source code. So we can see here in Antigravity itself, we can see what steps are going on, right? I can also click here to understand critical path, risk area. All those thoughts are already completed. This is the third task. Task is started, right? Then tool for the task. The focus is on selecting the correct tool for the job. So yeah, here we go. I think few minutes, not even the 5 minutes, right? QA analysis are ready here, right? Product module and features. So it's understood there are 3 tabs. My Antigravity already recognized there are 3 tabs, as we can see here, right? One tab allow the user to upload the image and so on. The second tab allow to evaluate the services, and third tab we can see it's coming soon right now, right? So it's not working right now, it's coming soon. These 2 are the active tab. Critical workflow is analyzing all the journey, entire journey, correct? So so we can see this is not a random output, right? So basically we can say this a good response, right? So basically this good response is telling me that what the major modules are there, what user journey are most important, right? Which API are the critical, and all the information as a QA I might need it is already here. It's already show me the risk area, probable failure. And by the way, I intentionally I had created some bugs so our test cycle can fail, right? And that's the reason it's also showing me warning. It's also showing me cautions, which is with respect to the securities, right? Also storage state issues, correct? So everything is here. All it's try to cover all the scenarios I asked to cover. Also the dependency and the assumption are already covered here. Now let's work on new prompt. So what's next? Now I really want to create a strategy. right? So my anti-gravity is already understood about the project. Now what I need is I need to create a QA strategy for CheckFakeAI, which include smoke test scenarios, which include functional test scenarios, negative test scenarios, edge cases, UI validation check, API validation, ideas, regression, priority classification like P0, P1, P2, right? And scenarios suitable for the automation versus manual. Now, you can add any other step as well, as per your project, as per your knowledge, and so on. Now, now that anti-gravity understand the project, we ask it to generate a QA strategy. This is useful because QA is not only about automation; it's about coverage, priority, and the risk. Here, I want smoke, functional, negative, and edge case coverage. I also want priority tagging, so I can separate must-pass user journey with the lower risk cases. So it's still working on it. It might take a minute or two, I guess, not more than that. So we can see, right? P0 is a smoke test, P1 is functional test, and then P1 to 2 is negative test, and then each case API UI validation check limit, layout breaking points, and scrapping robustness, and so on. And automation guideline, we already have the guidelines. So categorize deterministic API flows of uh, framework like super test, playwright versus latency. Okay, fine. So here I am going to use playwright. You can use another tool as well if you want. Right now, based on the QA strategy, right? We will work. We will move ahead to understand the execution. So what I am asking our anti-gravity tool is, you already know the strategy now. Based on the strategy, let's use the existing project stack and testing framework if already present. So I have we already have playwright set up here. So playwright is going to be used, focused on PO. So it will start from smoke scenarios, right? Login or guest flow, we don't have login, so it will definitely going to choose the guest flow, submit a claim, and so on, right? This is a generic one. We can also create a specific one, so I'm just using a generic one. So people who want to try anti-gravity with any existing project, they can just try with the generic prompt, right? Let's go with this prompt. So now we move from understanding to execution. Instead of asking anti-gravity to blindly generate hundreds of test cases, we just ask with P0 smoke coverage, because that was the top priority. So this is important for QA. The first win is to maximize the automation. The first win is not to maximize the automation. It is to do a reliable automation. So if you notice the approach here, like we are telling it only write some test cases. I'm not asking it to bombard with lots of test cases. Uh, we are clearly specifying the scope, priority, and the constraint, and expected behavior. That usually gives better output and make review easier. If our project already has a playwright, Cypress, Selenium, right, or any international framework or internal framework, not international, sorry, internal framework, tell the anti-gravity to follow that existing instruction, and that's what we did here. So it's asking my approval. So here we see the terminal is running the test already, I guess. We can see 14 is passed, right? Okay, so we can also see the playwright test is already going on. So if we see, like this is where a QA gets real value. The tool is not useful only because it's write test files. It's become useful when it's helped to execute, observe features, and refine test logic. Since Antigravity is designed to operate across the editor, terminal, and browser, this kind of workflow is exactly where it becomes powerful. So we will just wait for this to be completed. So this the implementation plan, right? So implementation plan is like CheckFakeAI implementation plan, use review required, proceed with check. Okay, let's proceed the implementation plan now. We just wait for the result. So what I am doing here, I am doing prompting. I am just providing the prompt to Antigravity and waiting for the result. Based on the result, I will verify and then I can plan my next step. So guys, it's not that you prompt anything and that's all done, right? You can also start reviewing the output, understand that what's going on, what action Antigravity is taking, right? What you can also review all the thoughts here, right? You can go through all the thoughts. You can see what has been edited, right? What all task has been edited. Okay. So I think we need to wait for a few more minutes for the final output and then we will move ahead from here. So the most important thing for QA is use cases, correct? So once we have the result, we will see that how we can move ahead with the second prompt, which will help us to understand what failed, how it's failed, right? What is flaky test, what are the bugs, correct? And for each failure, we will also ask Antigravity to provide us details. So here is our test result. We can see here are the test result. Two cases are failed and rest are pass, right? We can see maximum are pass. Two of the test cases are being failed, correct? Now let's move to another prompt. So this prompt we will ask. I already have the test cases. I already have the test cases. Now what I am going to do is I am asking Antigravity to review the failed test case result and identify whether each failure is product bug, flaky test, selector issues, environment setup issues, or unclear requirement, right? You can add more classification based on your project, right? And for each failure provide me title, likely root cause, okay, and also reproduction steps, expected result, and so on. So whatever I get here, I can always share those data to the team, right? So basically, uh, I don't know what kind of test cases, what kind of failed cases are, right? So I need the classification of those cases, and I don't need to do anything. I don't need to identify manually. I will just ask Antigravity to do it for me. So once I have this report generated, once I have the output, we will move. We can also see how I can convert this output to a simple report, which I can share with the development team and so on. So guys, it might be little quick, right? I don't want to make this long video like my earlier, but I really want to show that using a simple prompt, but you need to be very you need to use organized prompt, and that's the reason I already designed a prompt before I start this session, right? So I can use it easily. You can change the keywords on the prompt based on the project, complexity of project, and so on. Make sure if you're accepting something, you understand why, what edit is being proposed, and you should be agreed to the proposal by Antigravity, right? We can see okay, 22 are passed. That's good. So one by one all the test cases will be completed, all the steps will be executed by anti-gravity, and we can see the output. Soon after this is done, we will move ahead with the detailed report, right? Or you can say I will move ahead with the QA documentation. Okay, so everything passed successful on the next page. Very good. Your test now much more better. Okay, here the result, right? Now I will just move ahead with. Now I am looking for report. So I'm just waiting. I think I'm getting some connection error due because the server is being rebooted. So these are the bug report. Okay, so I think the server is down, right? So I'm not going to I'm not going to use my terminal, right, to run the command. While I can do it, I have the knowledge, but I don't need to do it. I'm just asking my anti-gravity to do it for me. So these are the bug reports. Okay, so as I am running on the local. My earlier port was already busy, so it's changed the port. Okay, now this is where the QA documentation become more stronger, right? So if I review, this is my CheckFakeAI bug reports. All the both the bugs which has been or both the cases which has been failed, right? Those detail are already here. I can export it and I can share with the developer if I need it, right? So this is a sample bug. A sample bug anti-gravity may uncover in a project like CheckFakeAI, right? So bug one, we can see bug. The first bug is server crashes when submitting media analysis request without a file attachment, right? And the bug second is missing service name validation trigger, correct? So if I want, as a developer, I can also resolve this bug from here, but this demo is focused on the QA. So now I will move ahead with the next prompt. Now what? Now I just need to make sure that I need more coverage here. So expand the check fake AI QA suite further, like boundary test for input size, invalid character test, and so on. Correct. So now I will execute this. So once the smoke flow is stable, I expand coverage carefully. So this is where anti-gravity can help QA to scale boundary testing, error handling, session issues, network cases, and release day regression planning. So, guys, let's understand. Meanwhile, our anti-gravity or my QA is working for me, right? Or QA agent is working for me. So, let's understand this. AI helps QA. AI does not replace QA judgment, right? You are the one who need to take a judgment, right? So basically, anti-gravity can accelerate QA work, but it should not replace QA judgment. A good QA engineer still need to review the assumption, validate the requirements, spot missing coverage, check whether a bug is true or a bug, right? So and decide release risk. The right mindset is AI accelerate execution. QA owns quality. So you owns quality, still you own quality, right? This is the extended QA suite. We can see and you can edit this is a standard I am trying to following, right? But we can change this based on your project, your requirement, and so on. So let's understand here. If you want better result from anti-gravity for QA, follow these practices. Use existing project context. Start with product understanding first. Generate a test strategy before writing automation. Begin with the smoke flows, not a scenarios at once. Ask it classify the failure, right? And always review generated bugs report before sharing them with your team. Validation of any work done by AI as of today is very important. So in this demo we use Google Antigravity with existing project CheckFakeAI to understand the app, generate a QA strategy, create automation, run test, identify failures, separate real bugs from test issues, and draft detailed bug report. That's the real opportunity for QA team. Less less time and repetitive work. Hardly it took me about 10-15 minutes. I'm not sure, right? I think the complete cycle, it was a small project, but the complete test cycle can be run in 10 or 15 minutes, right? So more time on risk coverage and product quality. If you want, like in next video we can plan something like end-to-end version of demo where we actually make anti-gravity, generate the test step by step on a real project, right? Like, subscribe, and share with your QA team. Thank you everyone.